With more than 2 billion pallets in circulation and over 500 million new pallets produced every year, pallets are the quiet backbone of the modern economy. But here's the part very few people know. In the United States, over 90% of all wooden pallets are reused, repaired, or fully recycled, making pallets one of the most successfully recycled wood products in the entire world. This creates a massive hidden industry. Huge pallet repair factories, crushing mills, chipping plants, and recycling centers that turn broken wood into mulch, biofuel, animal bedding, and even new engineered wood boards. Today, we're stepping inside America's supergiant pallet recycling plants, where millions of broken pallets are collected, sorted, rebuilt, and transformed in a mind-blowing industrial process that keeps the country moving and saves millions of trees every year. Wooden pallets might seem simple, but without them, modern supply chains would collapse. In the US alone, pallets carry nearly 80% of all transported goods. From Amazon packages to construction materials, they support over $400 billion worth of products every single day. A typical pallet weighs 30 to 50 pounds and is built from low-grade lumber. Wood that's unsuitable for furniture but perfect for strong, durable shipping platforms. Because this type of wood is cheap and abundant, pallets became the global shipping standard during World War II. Today, they are so essential that the US maintains a continuous cycle of manufacturing, repairing, and recycling more than 1.8 billion pallets at any given moment. But pallets don't last forever. Forklifts break boards, nails loosen, heavy loads crack the frames. Every year, nearly 500 million pallets become damaged. But instead of throwing them away, America recycles them. Why? Because pallets are incredibly recyclable. A pallet can be repaired and reused up to 10 or even 15 times. And when it can no longer be repaired, the wood can be ground into mulch, compressed into fuel pellets used for animal bedding, turned into particle board, or processed into biomass energy. The journey begins far from the recycling plant. In thousands of warehouses, distribution centers, factories, grocery stores, and construction sites across the country. Whenever pallets become damaged or no longer meet quality standards, companies stack them in designated pallet return zones. Recycling plants send trucks daily to collect these mountains of pallets. Some distribution hubs return 10,000 to 20,000 pallets per week. Major retailers like Walmart, Home Depot, and Costco return even more. Large pallet companies operate fleets of semi-trucks that pick up damaged pallets from multiple locations and bring them to regional recycling yards. Once the pallets arrive, the first phase begins: sorting. Workers in forklifts unload giant stacks, sometimes up to 18 feet tall. Every pallet is examined for damage: broken deck boards, cracked stringers, missing nails, or warped frames. Sorting is done at lightning speed. Workers process up to 700 pallets per hour using automated conveyor lines, tipping tables, and pallet stackers that lift, rotate, and align pallets with incredible efficiency. The plant's goal is simple: recover as many pallets as possible for reuse, because repairing generates much more value than grinding. Once sorted, the repairable pallets move to the next stage: an industrial repair line where carpenters, machines, and nail guns bring them back to life. Repairing pallets is one of the most impressive parts of the entire industry. The plant looks like a cross between a carpentry shop and a high-speed assembly line. Skilled workers wearing gloves, ear protection, and steel-toe boots work alongside pneumatic tools and automated machines. The pace is fast. Each worker repairs 150 to 250 pallets per shift, and large plants handle tens of thousands per week. The moment a pallet reaches the repair line, it undergoes a systematic evaluation. Workers quickly identify broken deck boards, split stringers, or missing nails. Many pallets can be fixed in less than a minute. Workers use a tool called a pallet pry bar to pop off broken boards. For broken stringers, the plant may use a specialized saw to remove the damaged section. Nearby, automated saw lines cut thousands of new deck boards per hour from raw lumber. The boards are fed onto conveyors that send them straight to the repair stations. Workers use pneumatic nail guns capable of firing 3 nails per second. They attach new boards to the pallet frame, ensuring perfect spacing and alignment. Nails are applied with consistent depth and pressure, maintaining pallet strength standards. If a pallet stringer is cracked but still salvageable, repairers attach a component called a companion stringer, a strong piece of wood that strengthens the structure and extends the pallet's lifespan by several more cycles. Every repaired pallet is inspected. If it fails any structural test, loose boards, misaligned nails, gaps, it goes back for further repair. The result? A pallet that looks almost new and can support 2,500 to 3,000 pounds of product. At large facilities, repaired pallets immediately move to heat treating chambers. Many industries, especially food and pharmaceuticals, require pallets to be heat treated to eliminate pests and bacteria. Pallets are heated to 56 degrees for 30 minutes, monitored by digital sensors. Once heat-treated, pallets are stacked into perfect towers of 20 to 25 and banded for delivery. These, like new pallets, are sent back to retailers, warehouses, and factories, ready for another round of heavy-duty service. But not all pallets can be saved. Those that are too broken or unsafe for reuse head to a completely different part of the plant, the grinding and recycling zone. The grinding zone is where industrial power truly shows itself. Here, the sound of roaring motors fills the air as giant machines reduce mountains of broken pallets into useful secondary products. Trucks and forklifts dump unusable pallets into massive piles. These stacks can reach 20 to 30 feet high. Pallets are fed by an excavator or conveyor. As they enter the grinding chamber, spinning teeth tear them apart. Nails and metal fragments are automatically removed by a magnetic separator and collected for recycling. The biggest pallet recycling plants in America operate almost like automotive factories. Everything is automated, coordinated, and streamlined for maximum efficiency. Robotic stackers lift finished pallets, align them, and pack them onto trailers. Automated conveyors deliver boards and pallet frames to repair stations. Computer systems track each pallet, its repairs, and its quality rating. Some facilities even use AI-based vision systems to scan pallets for damage. These systems instantly detect broken boards, missing nails, and structural weaknesses, guiding workers on what to repair. Every truck entering or leaving is weighed. Every pallet is tracked. Every board cut is optimized so that no wood is wasted. This level of efficiency is what makes pallet recycling more profitable and more environmentally friendly than manufacturing new pallets. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden world of pallet recycling, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next incredible journey into the factories and farms that power our modern world. Thanks for watching, and stay curious. massive cargo ship, or even a decommissioned Navy vessel, they can't just disappear. Some of them are longer than skyscrapers are tall, weighing more than 50,000 tons. Every year, the United States alone faces the question of what to do with hundreds of aging vessels. Military ships, tankers, freighters, and even cruise liners. The answer is one of the most mind-blowing industrial processes you'll ever see: ship recycling. Inside America's supergiant recycling plants, these floating giants are carefully taken apart piece by piece until what was once a proud vessel sailing across oceans is reduced to valuable raw steel. This isn't destruction, it's transformation. It's the final journey of a ship, but also the beginning of countless new stories. Powered by the recycled materials pulled from its frame. But before the first cut is made, there is a crucial step: preparation. Ships aren't just floating steel shells. They are filled with decades of fuel residue, lubricants, asbestos, plastics, paints, and in older ships, even dangerous chemicals like polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs. Leaving these inside would pose serious risks to workers and the environment. So teams of specialists go in first, wearing protective suits. They pump out leftover fuel and oil. They strip out wiring that may contain hazardous insulation. They remove asbestos from walls and insulation. They clear out refrigerants and chemicals. This stage can take weeks, but it's essential to making sure the rest of the dismantling process is safe and environmentally sound. Only once the ship has been declared clean does the real heavy work begin. Workers prepare massive cutting torches, cranes, and hauling equipment. The air is filled with anticipation, because soon, steel that once protected sailors or carried cargo across the Atlantic will meet the fire of plasma cutters, breaking down into manageable pieces. For many people, it's emotional. These ships often carry stories. Some may have fought in wars, carried humanitarian aid, or hosted thousands of passengers. But here in the recycling yard, emotion gives way to engineering. The focus is on safety, precision, and efficiency. What was once a proud ship is about to be reborn. Once the ship is stripped of hazardous materials, the real spectacle begins. Imagine a steel giant the length of the Empire State Building lying on its side. Taking it apart is nothing like breaking down a car. This is steel plate that can be 2 inches thick, welded together with military-grade precision. To cut it, workers use plasma torches, gas burners, and in some cases, giant hydraulic shears. The sound is deafening, sparks flying, metal shrieking as it's torn apart. Teams of workers climb scaffolding or hang from cranes, slicing sections of the hull into smaller, more manageable chunks. The process begins from the top. Superstructures like the bridge, funnels, and upper decks are removed first. Large cranes swing in, lifting away pieces that weigh dozens of tons. Every move is choreographed for safety. One mistake could bring down thousands of pounds of steel. Bit by bit, the ship's proud profile disappears. The tall stacks, once spewing smoke across the ocean, are reduced to scrap. The decks, once filled with crew or passengers, are cut apart. Finally, workers move down to the hull, the thick, reinforced belly that carried the ship across storms and seas. Cutting the hull is the hardest part. It's often done in sections, with each chunk weighing several tons. These are hoisted by cranes onto trucks or rail cars, ready to be sent to shredders or steel mills. Watching it, you can't help but marvel. A ship that once carried thousands of containers across the Pacific is now itself cargo, destined for a furnace. This dismantling process can take months. A smaller ship may be fully processed in 6 months. But for giants like aircraft carriers or oil tankers, the operation can last years. In Brownsville, one of the largest yards in the US, Dismantling a single supercarrier produced over 100,000 tons of scrap steel. That's enough to build multiple skyscrapers. Not everything on a ship is just steel. Ships are treasure chests of materials. As the cutting goes on, crews separate different types of metal. Copper wiring is stripped from conduits. Aluminum is pulled from railings and fixtures. Brass fittings, bronze propellers, stainless steel piping, each has its own recycling path. Propellers themselves can weigh up to 20 tons and are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in bronze scrap alone. Even the engines, massive diesel machines as tall as a two-story house, are taken apart. Components are sold for reuse, while metals go into recycling streams. Plastics, insulation, and wood are sorted out. Some can be recycled, others disposed of safely. Nothing goes to waste if it can be avoided. A modern U.S. ship recycling facility aims to recycle more than 95% of a vessel's weight. It's a process of triage. What goes to steel mills, what goes to copper smelters, what goes to secondary markets. The workers are not just cutting, they're sorting, recording, and ensuring that every valuable piece is captured. So what happens after the giant chunks of steel leave the yard? They're shipped to steel mills across the United States. There, the scrap steel from old ships is fed into electric arc furnaces. Temperatures reach over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. In minutes, the ship's steel becomes a pool of glowing molten metal. Impurities are removed, and alloys are added depending on the desired grade. That molten steel is then cast into billets, blooms, or slabs. These, in turn, are rolled into beams, sheets, or rebar. And just like that, the ship is reborn. Maybe it becomes the skeleton of a new skyscraper in New York. Maybe it's transformed into rebar holding together a bridge in California. Maybe it's rolled into plate steel for a brand new cargo ship. The cycle is complete, from sea to land, from past to future. Every ton of recycled steel saves about 1.5 tons of iron ore, 0.5 tons of coal, and reduces carbon dioxide emissions by nearly 2 tons. Recycling ships doesn't just recover material. It avoids the environmental costs of mining and refining virgin ore. Ship recycling is not without its risks. In some countries, it has been notorious for environmental pollution and worker injuries. But in the US, strict regulations ensure that the process is safe and responsible. Before any cutting begins, all fuels, oils, and hazardous chemicals must be removed. Wastewater is treated. Air emissions are monitored. Workers are trained and equipped with protective gear. This is crucial because older ships can contain asbestos insulation, lead paint, or PCBs. Mishandled, these could cause harm for decades. But in modern American yards, these substances are safely removed and disposed of in accordance with EPA standards. The goal is not just recycling, it's green recycling, ensuring that the process of rebirth doesn't harm the planet. Why is ship recycling so important? The economics tell the story. A single large tanker or carrier can yield over 50,000 tons of steel. At today's prices, that's worth tens of millions of dollars. Add in copper, aluminum, and stainless steel, and the value climbs higher.